Hello, my name is Liara Torres. I wrote this song about Abigail Adams and her fight for women's rights. It is called The Story of Abigail Adams. Right. Mother of six, only four did make it. Managed to overcome my circumstances. Still getting a say in politics when I wasn't changing diapers and holding a broomstick. Self-educated through which I accelerated my status as a mother and a wife. I knew the struggle a day in a woman's life. It wasn't supposed to be this way. I wasn't supposed to have a say, yeah. But my story needs to be told. The story of my life will unfold. Well, I made a place for myself in the eyes of society. Let my voice be heard through my husband's notoriety. Remember the ladies, for we won't stand to be mistreated. Won't hesitate to rebel if this cruel behavior is repeated. John, you may be amused, but you can't lie, don't deny how often women are abused in this hierarchy. I wasn't supposed to be this way. I wasn't supposed to have a say, yeah. But my story needs to be told. The story of my life will unfold. The story of my life. The story of my life will unfold.
Hello, I'm Scott Stephenson. I'm the president and CEO of the Museum of the American Revolution, and I'm so excited to be able to introduce Liara Torres, who I first saw performing a song inspired by a very famous letter of Abigail Adams, almost a little over a year ago, I guess. It was April of 2019 at a gala event for the Gilder Lehrman Institute in New York, which is a great partner of the Museum of the American Revolutions, founded by Richard Gilder, who sadly we just lost a few weeks ago, and Lou Lehrman, who were passionate collectors of early American documents, very interested in American history, very committed to ensuring that rising generations would have an appreciation of American history through these wonderful surviving manuscripts and documents from the period. And the Gilder Lehrman Institute, which is based in New York, does tons of outreach, all kinds of programming, and those include programs with high school students trying to inspire creative use of historical documents to inspire performance. And of course, this was all inspired, I think, by the success of the Hamilton musical. So, Liara, you are a graduating senior. I understand you live in the Bronx, so you're at home. Like my daughter, who is also a graduating senior this year. I know the struggle is real for the graduating class of 2020. And I'd love to just hear a little bit about your experience as a student, in this project that you did last year, and what sort of brought you to Abigail Adams' Remember the Lady's Letter.
Okay. So it actually isn't that complicated. Well, I started doing the project for my U.S. history class, and using the Hamilton website and information that they provided, I I was looking through all the people in the play, and I didn't find anybody that I was actually interested in. And I decided to do some research outside of it, and I came across Abigail Adams and like her story, and it was really inspiring because I felt like she really did make a change, even in like her position as a woman during that time. Um, and I guess from there it just kind of came to me.
Did you read? Did you read? So, what other primary sources did you read about her? Did you read a number of her letters between she and John, or?
I looked through a lot of information about her. I read through the letters, and I guess that one letter kind of stuck out to me because it felt like poetry. It felt like a song, like something that would work well musically.
Yeah, well, when I heard this piece, I was sitting at a table with one of our board members, Martha McGeary Snyder, and of course, we knew at the time we were working on an exhibition that will open this fall at the museum, and it'll have a website as well. And it's this is of course the centennial, the 100-year anniversary of the 19th Amendment, which guaranteed the right to vote for women. And so there's lots of projects out there about how women won the votes. But what virtually nobody knew is that, in fact, some women were voting during Abigail Adams' lifetime, particularly just across the river from where I'm sitting in New Jersey, which in 1776 wrote a state constitution that had no restrictions on voting for women and even free people of color who had owned property. And so what we discovered was this amazing story that had been almost completely forgotten, that there was this experiment in suffrage, but then was shut down in 1807. And it was a reminder that, the story of rights in America is usually thought of as Declaration of Independence and then kind of the gradual expansion of rights. And Abigail Adams, her role in that, as you know, is usually she writes this letter saying, remember the ladies, and then nobody really responds for a long time. But in fact, there was this moment, and we actually will have that original letter that Abigail wrote to John back in Philadelphia for the first time since 1776. That'll be here at the museum. So I'm so excited once the restrictions on our travel are over that you'll be able to come down and actually see Remember the Ladies
I would love that.
handwriting.